AITA for donating my son's toys. After he refused to clean his room, I have a 10-year-old son named Jamie. Jamie is a sweet, kind-hearted boy who, like many kids his age, struggles with keeping his room clean. His room is often a whirlwind of toys, clothes, and random stuff, just a general mess. It's not that Jamie doesn't try. He's just really disorganized and finds it hard to stay on top of cleaning. I've repeatedly asked him to tidy up, and while he means well, he always seems to end up getting distracted or just overwhelmed by the mess. For months, I've been patient. I've set small tasks, tried to work with him on cleaning, and even set up a reward system to motivate him. Despite all these efforts, his room continues to look like a disaster zone. I've tried explaining the importance of cleanliness and responsibility, but Jamie, being a young kid, has a hard time understanding the long-term consequences of not keeping his space in order. He gets frustrated easily and feels like he's not making any progress. Last week, after yet another frustrating attempt to get him to clean his room, I decided to take more drastic action. I told Jamie that if he didn't have his room clean by the end of the week, I would donate all of his toys to charity. Jamie's eyes widened and he said, "I'll try my best, Dad." But he didn't seem to fully grasp the seriousness of my threat. He probably thought I was just saying that to scare him into cleaning up. When the deadline came and his room was still a mess, clothes strewn everywhere, toys scattered on the floor, and trash tucked away in corners, I knew I had to follow through. I waited until Jamie was out with his friends for the day, and then I went into his room with several large garbage bags. I methodically packed up all his toys, including his favorite action figures, his beloved Lego sets, and the stuffed animals he sleeps with every night. I took care to pack everything gently so nothing would be damaged. I wanted Jamie to understand that I was serious, but I didn't want to be cruel. After packing up all the toys, I drove them to a local children's charity. I hoped that at least his toys would go to kids who really needed them and would appreciate them. I felt a bit conflicted, but I was determined that Jamie needed to learn a lesson about responsibility and the consequences of not following through on his promises. When Jamie came home and saw his room empty, he was heartbroken. He fell to the floor and started crying. Through his tears, he begged me to get his toys back. He said, "I'm really sorry. I promise I'll clean up. Please, can you get them back?" His sadness was overwhelming, and it broke my heart to see him like that. But I stayed firm and told him the toys were gone and that this was a lesson he needed to learn. I explained that sometimes actions have consequences, and he needed to understand that responsibility is important. My wife was furious when she found out what I had done. She said I was being too harsh and should have given Jamie another chance. She argued that taking his toys away was too extreme and that I should have tried to find another way to handle the situation. Now she's considering consulting a family therapist to address what she sees as my overreaction. Jamie has been distant and withdrawn since this happened, and it's clear that he's struggling with the loss of his toys and the tension in our home. I wanted Jamie to understand the importance of being responsible and keeping his room clean, but I'm starting to question if I went too far. Was it really necessary to take such extreme measures? AITA for donating his toys after he refused to clean his room?